Hello, this is going to be a short guide on tentacle trees. I'm a player who goes by the name of Furbat. I'm relatively new to the game. I've been playing for about 3 months. I've been playing way more than I probably should have been playing. And I love the game. And I think I have a pretty good grasp on the mechanics of tentacle trees. So I thought I would share them because I hear a lot of people avoiding them. And right now, the way that they're implemented, they're basically risk-free loot pinatas, where every time you get swallowed, you walk out of there with 3 or 4 rand arts. So they're fantastic. Okay, so what are tentacle trees? If you have the cultist expansion enabled, you'll find that throughout the West, there are a couple of zones that will spawn these tentacle tree things, and you can see them right here. Right now, there's a bug. I think every time you get tentacle trees, you get a mass tentacle tree event in the level that's being fixed in 1.6. So you should only see maybe one every playthrough. Right now, you're getting 5 or 6 zones full of them. I've been taking advantage of them. The last run I did, when I first started playing, I just clicked on them all as I saw them, which actually was the right decision, and I'll explain that in a second. And now I've gone back to trying to figure them out and then use them to my advantage because they're here. And understanding how to get this free loot out of them, what I think will benefit everybody. Okay, so that kind of explains what they are and why you should do them. So right now I've seen tentacle trees spawn in Old Forest, Daikara, Spellblaze, and Reknor. When they spawn, they have a difficulty level or level range that's dependent on the zone. So Old Forest you'll see 25 to 29, Daikara 30 to 33. Spellblaze, it's 40 to 45, and Reknor, it's 43 to 50. Now, there appears to be a bug, and I'm assuming it's a bug because when I talked to one of the developers, they seem surprised at this, which suggests it's not working as intended. And the bug is that if you go out east and come back, you'll find that the tentacle trees in Old Forest, Daikara, and Reknor have increased in level. And that's because the existence of an alternate guardian. To avoid this, you can either do Old Forest or Daikara before going out east, and that's probably the best way to do it. Alternatively, you can reset the level of the tentacle trees to their original level by killing the alternate guardian. And the next time you load the client, so you'll have to exit the main menu, and the next time you log back in, it'll go back to where it is. If you don't feel comfortable with that, just do Old Forest and Daikara first. Reknor, you want to be higher level. I de-leveled it this time because I just figured this out. That was a mistake. You'll get tier 5 gear either way, but if the enemies are 56 to 60, all of it will be tier 5 gear, and that's better than having them be 43 to 50. Basically the same challenge level, but worse gear. So what happens when the alt guardians are there? Old Forest, they go up to 76 to 79. Yeah, that's bad. Daikara is 66 to 70, and Spellblaze doesn't get affected, and then Reknor, you actually benefit from the bug quotes, and then they go to 56 to 60, and then all the gear inside becomes tier 5, which is great. So do with that information as you will. I think one of the reasons people avoid them is they click on a tentacle tree in Old Forest after coming back from the east, face a whole zone full of level 79 tentacles, get slaughtered, and they're like, no, I'm not doing that again. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the mechanics. So if you click on one of these tentacle trees, one of 3 things is going to happen. either it's going to wither and die, you're going to face an Awoken Tentacle Tree, which is nothing special. They have some Writhingwood Tentacle Tree talents and then whatever else they get. And they can be rare, unique, or boss. Oh, and keep in mind, this whole guide's insane. Or, third option, you get swallowed. You want to get swallowed because all the good gear is there if you get swallowed. So let's click and see what happens. And we get a level 46 Awoken Tentacle Tree, which is a giant, big do-nothing. We're just going to basically slaughter it. These things, they don't hit hard. I mean, we can look at it. Yeah, damage is low. I mean, I've got 100-something defense plus parry, and their abilities aren't anything interesting either. So they do like some tentacle attacks. Alright, so let's just F5 until my things are off cooldown. I don't know if I only get 10 minutes of video time with the streaming thing that I have, so I'll try to do as much of this as I can. We're going to probably run out of time. Do I want to touch it? Yes. Let's get swallowed. Let's get swallowed. That would be a get swallowed. Okay. So when you get swallowed, you go into the zone layout of the God Eater and the Worm. It's that sort of tentacle area. I'm going to hit track and we can kind of see the layout. The first thing I always do is hit track to see where everything is. And then we can kind of go over what some of these enemies are, what they do, and try to spot out where all the uniques are and all that other stuff. See the level ranges. Okay. So once you're inside this zone, the enemies inside, they tend to be pretty weak statistically, but they have a lot of really annoying abilities. So they can either strip you of physical buffs, they can blind you, they can debuff your healing, your damage dealt, etc. Also, and it's a random intervals that this happens. Periodically, there'll be a gastric wave that comes through, and gastric waves will, for 5 seconds, for 5 turns, give all enemies 70% resol, and then also debuff your damage by 45%. So when that happens, you'll basically do no damage. On top of that, enemies tend to all have mitosis. So when you attack them, you'll get those oozes that spawn, and they share damage, the thing that oozemancers have. And so that'll make it very hard to kill anything. So let's just look around and see what's here. And I'm going to tell you exactly what my strategy is going to be. I'm going to go this way, where I don't think that there's enemies. And I'm thinking that this is a whole giant mass here. And I expect them, I'm going to try to get out of line of sight over here. And then they're all going to chase me. So alternatively, it looks like I can go this direction too, then get behind some LOS right there. Let's talk about the kinds of enemies that they have. I'm running out of time. Let's see. This is the Proto-Sentient Globula. And let's see. That has mitosis and Call of Ooze. It's not really that big of a deal. So this is not that big of a threat. This is the Plasmic Disruptor, and this has Slime Spit, Mitosis, and Virulent Disease. So it slows you, has a magical debuff, and then Mitosis, so it's hard to kill. This one here is Blightborn, and you know what? I forget what this does. Let's look. So this has Eel's Wrath, which drains mana from you, and it also has Infestation. And this is the Acidic Digester. Acidic Digester is one of the most dangerous things in there. This removes up to 6 physical or magical effects from you. So this can actually be pretty terrible. And then the other one that's really worrisome, well, there's 2 more. There's the Mastocytic Feeder. See if we can find one of those. Oh, here's Protoplasmic Controller. This one has Acid Fire, so it creates an area effect that blinds and removes magical buffs. We don't have any magical buffs, so we